Oh my god. Welcome to episode 3 of the Select Star Radio podcast. I am one of your hosts, DLB, and along with me from East Oakland, California, my guy Hoodnerd. Um so to be transparent, I currently have the vid. Um so I'm definitely gonna be trying not to cough and hack in y'all ear. Y'all gonna see me hitting this mute button a lot. So don't pay me no mind. But how are you, my guy? This is week 2 of unemployment.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. It's going wonderful. It's actually week 1 of unemployment.
Oh yeah, actually,
yeah, I was fired last week. No, cool, man. Chilling.
That's crazy how fast time goes.
Yeah.
That's crazy that we already on episode 3.
That's right.
Man,
That's right.
Time is moving.
Consistency, even through drama, even through sickness, we here.
Man, we here. Dedicated.
I thought you was gonna tap out. I was ready to tap out.
Nah, it's too early in the game.
Because I was ready. I was like, for sure.
Yeah. So for those of you who are wondering, my mom had it. My mom was sick. I was with her last week taking care of her. She swore I was like, did you take a COVID test? She was like, I ain't got no COVID. Sure enough, had her take the test. She ended up testing positive. So I was like, well, hell, I'm already here. So
that's her first time, right?
Yeah, that's her first. This is my second. So have you ever had it?
Mm-hmm.
How many times did you have it?
Twice that I know of.
Okay. Right.
So twice that I know of. So yeah. The
Yeah,
first time was light. First time was light. It was nothing. It was like, oh, what? This is what everybody's tripping. And then the next time it was like, oh, I can't breathe. Like walking is hard. Like I felt I couldn't breathe. Swear. Like I remember I went outside to go for a walk. Like, oh, I can go for a walk. I'm cool. And I must have made it to the gate and was like, and politely went back and laid down, bro. I was hurting. I was like, oh my God. You know, I was crazy. The second time with me, for sure. The second time got my ass.
Both times got me. The first one though kicked my ass. For me though, both times it's the first day that like hits me the hardest.
Yeah.
And then today's day 2, and I just been sleeping a lot, so I've been like out. So, but yeah, man, shows out. So, with that being said, I want to say this at the top of the podcast. Wherever you guys are listening to the podcast at, please rate, review, subscribe, whatever. Help us to get the podcast out there. The more you guys interact with it, even with our posts, when we post on IG, TikTok, even with our posts, interact with the posts. I appreciate you guys that DM me and hit me one-on-one, but comment under some of the posts too, please. For those of you who are familiar with Snake and Mike Demo, we're all still cool. I definitely have reached out to both of them. Snake has confirmed that he will come on. Mike hasn't said anything, but I'll get Mike to come on. That's not hard. But so that is something that we will do down the line. But as of right now, it's just me and your favorite. So
that's all.
Do you remember how you got that nickname?
Probably being a hater of some kind or something. I don't know. Hey, somebody else.
So you said before we get into the news, I didn't hear who, but you said somebody passed away.
Yeah, Akira Toriyama, man, Dragon Ball creator, passed away. Yeah.
Oh,
68 years old. So rest in peace to the GOAT, man. He brought a lot of kids a lot of joy over the years, and me being one of them. I grew up on Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. There's some of my earliest memories of anime. So, he definitely was a big part of my childhood. He never knew, you know what I'm saying? So that's really cool. And Dragon Ball still lives on. It's still going on to this day. But yeah, the creator of Dragon Ball, and for video game fans, the Xbox 360 game Blue Dragon, and then he's also behind the artwork of the new game coming out, Sand Wars, something like that. It's the new some open world game that looks like a cartoon, but I forgot the name of the game. Sand something. But yeah, just passed away. That news just hit Instagram like right now. So
yeah, that's wild. Oh, my boys beat Golden State. So that just came up, literally just popped up on
yeah,
my phone.
so it just popped up on mine too. 3-point game.
But so get into the first bit of the news. Warner Brothers discuss the volatility of AAA console games and will lean into free to play and mobile games. That's interesting to me. And with your unfortunate layoffs and the industry going towards live services, it's very interesting to hear Warner Brothers kind of going the whole opposite direction. And I'm really curious where the industry is going to be in the next couple of years, because
Don't know.
you're hearing
Don't know.
so many different things from so many different places. Like, we're going to skip ahead within the news. Like, we're going to be talking about how Take-Two CEO was saying that longer games should cost more than $70. And then you have Ubisoft's CEO saying that players need to get comfortable with not owning games. So I'm real curious to see like what direction we're going in, where we're gonna be at, and we're gonna go deeper into those two topics in a minute. But Warner Brothers, they actually make good games for the most part. I mean, at least
they publish. They're
well,
yeah.
right, they're a publisher, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, they have a really good lineup.
Yeah,
So,
but is that lineup making them money, right? So like, yeah, they
that's the
spend
thing.
$200 million on Shadow of Mordor or whatever, but then a
Really good game, man.
like Fortnite or
Really
something,
good game.
cheaper cost of entry, but it makes $1 billion a year, and you can charge season pass. It's like, so they're not getting a return. So everybody's seeing that, and everybody wants to play that game because that's where the money is in gaming now. Because gamers, us, have shown we'll pay to play your game over and over and over and over again, right? So we're the problem because we keep doing it, right? So like gambling wouldn't exist if no one gambled, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Vegas wouldn't be Vegas if people didn't like to spend their money in Vegas. So it's the same thing. We're the problem, and yeah, I don't know. It's just gonna get worse, dog. Like,
but the thing is, we'll play anything that's cool. Like you would have thought, since everybody's trying to go the Fortnite direction, you would have thought there would have been a ton of free to play games by now. It's like nobody wants to take that approach.
Well, they scared.
Nobody wants to make the game free
because once you go free, you can never come back. You know what I'm saying? Once you go free to play, you can never go back. So like, once a game,
I guarantee you, if they could guarantee that they make Fortnite money, they'd be like,
right. Yeah,
we'll
but
give
like,
this shit for free.
Right, yeah. If they can make Fortnite money, of course they'll do it in a heartbeat. But because they can't guarantee that, because games like Suicide Squad and I mean, what's the EA flopper that came out? They tried to do it too. All these live service games that like tried to be Destiny or tried to be these games that live, and it's like you have to make a fun game. And
that's why I see. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's hard. It's hard. How do you know what's fun and how do you know what the public is going to receive? You know what I'm saying? Like it's tough. But you banking like everything on it. You're banking your company on it, your studios, and it's like, okay, so.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. I mean, you see what happened with, unfortunately, people at EA, people at Sony. You know, they were making on all these live services, and how many of them didn't come out, got canceled. Excuse me. And some are still in the works, and we don't know what's going to happen with those. So, in my eyes, the the one that they banked the least on is doing the best, and that's Helldivers. So it's very interesting, and I know you say, you put it on us gamers, but
Well, I just put it on there. It's everybody.
I was gonna say I see it both ways, because these developers, like a perfect example, you brought up Suicide Squad. I mean, that trash that they tried to put out, and I mean, nobody bought it. So now, talking about these sports games that come out every year, now that's a whole other situation.
Again, I mean, listen, it's
Like,
not
now
just
that's
one title.
gamers' fault.
Yeah, but it's not just one title we're talking about, right? I'm not just speaking about like Suicide Squad, like game.
Right.
Those games are live services too. When you play in Mutt and Fut and Hut,
Yeah.
and the card, my player card, that's what they're called.
I know. Go ahead. What are they called again?
Mutt, Fut, and Hut.
Stupid.
You know what I'm saying? And then 2K got it right, and then MLB The Show got the car. So everybody has their gimmick. They do it every year, all the time. So it's not like they're bigger than anybody else. The sports games might be the worst because they do it and they still charge you $70. Those cars don't carry over. You just playing over and over again, trying to get Messi every year. I want the gold Messi, platinum Messi. Oh, I want the pink diamond LeBron card. Oh, and it's like gambling. That's all it is. It's roulette. It's a roulette wheel.
If there was any game or games that I would like to see in the annual, how do you say that? Annualization?
I guess annualized. Oh yeah. I guess I know what you mean. Yeah, annualized.
If I just wish the sports games would really stop, like just stop, or if you're gonna do that, at least allow your progression to carry over. And I remember, excuse me,
He died.
I remember Madden did that one year. I can't remember what year that was, but I remember your season carried over. This is way before they were doing the MUT and all that stuff.
Oh man, yeah, dog. What? You're never getting that again. The closest thing you're gonna get now is because college football is coming back, so you might get college football player progression back. Maybe. That's about it. You're not gonna get. I know where you could take your franchise from one Madden to the next, like 16 or 7. I can't remember. I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah.
No, not happening.
That would be so freaking amazing. Because I'm not gonna. My player will never retire. I'm never gonna play that many seasons for them to retire and go into But whatever. There's people that dedicate their life to Madden, and they do
every year.
I played too many games, and
it's not that. Sports games aren't that fun anymore. They're not. I mean, at least to me, and they used to be the everything. I find fun in other sports like racing now. So, basketball, football. Well, I'll play Madden every blue moon for a little bit, or 2K, but it's just not what it once was, because it's like it's rinse, wash, and repeat every time.
Mm-hmm.
Every year.
No, you're right.
And then, right. I mean, it's not like Call of Duty any different. I haven't played much Call of Duty this year. Last year, the last Call of Duty, I put in work. I put in time because I was enjoying it. And then this one, I was like,
same.
No, I'm not even touching this. I'm not playing zombies. I think I think I might be like a 15.
In the beginning, I played a lot of.
You were playing zombies.
I was playing zombies.
You were playing zombies
like crazy.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty cool. It was different. It was a different take on zombies. I was like, okay. It was pretty much DMZ with zombies. If you played DMZ, then it was DMZ with zombies with a twist. But yeah, no, you're right. This year with Call of Duty, I haven't. Man.
Yeah.
But part of it is because they pissed me off and they kind of lied, because they said that there wasn't going to be another Call of Duty. They were saying that everything was going to carry. I mean, they lied, and then they kind of didn't. They kind of lied, because when you look at the trophy system, the trophies are exactly this. The trophies are built into the game, so it's like it's still the same game, but they were saying it wasn't going to be.
It's a glorified DLC pack.
Pretty much. Yeah. And that's kind of where they got people.
Pack. Yeah.
Because they're like, we're not going to come out with another Call of Duty. But, I mean, bitch, you pretty much just came out with another Call of Duty. You just did the same thing you did every year, but you kind of mess with the system, and
Nah, it's not. It's wait. I'm sorry. It's just a comfort game. It's a game that everybody
yeah.
plays because everybody's afraid to try another game. Let's be honest. That's it. It's a comfort game, dog. It's been up and down for a long time. Call of Duty's been bobbing and weaving, but every blue moon, it's like a fighter that you love. Sometimes you know what I'm saying, they getting beat up. And it's like they'll show you a flash and it's like, ooh, we love it. And then they'll just go right. It's like, he ain't got it no more. And that's what it is. I just don't think they have it anymore. Because they're so annualized. Excuse me?
Pause. Since you talked about fighter, we're gonna put Select Star Radio on the side real quick. I'm sure everybody's seeing it. It's everywhere. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul are getting ready to fight. First off, I don't know how he.
What do you mean?
Jake Paul, I don't want to discredit him because I know a lot of people discredit him, but I mean, he's probably like the biggest thing in boxing right now.
Stop that, dude. He's one. You're discrediting boxing by saying that.
I mean, he has like the biggest. He's like almost like the white Mayweather.
Okay, so like if Hulk Hogan boxed, let's think of somebody, Evander Holyfield in the 1990s, it would be the biggest thing we've ever seen because it's a spectacle. It's because it's almost like he shouldn't be there. One, he's not fighting real fighters, and it's not to discredit him. I'm not saying he can't fight, but he's not coming through amateurs. He didn't go through the range. Now maybe they're saying, "Oh, we get it our own way." He's also fighting basketball players and people that are not boxers. When he fought a real boxer, he lost. So it's like, you get
that was his last fight, right?
I think it was like 2 fights ago. Now I don't remember. Now, is it fun to watch? I like boxing, so yeah, I'm gonna watch it. But I don't take it as like, oh man, he's a contender. It's kind of like, yeah, bro, he's fighting. Okay,
so
hold on, no. He's fighting a 57-year-old Mike Tyson. We're not talking about 19-year-old Mike Tyson that was sleeping.
57?
Yes, dude's 60 years old, man. So no, this ain't. Not saying Mike ain't got it because Mike still got it, obviously, but he's not fighting the prime version of these fighters when he's a prime fighter. So it's like, what are we doing?
Oh yeah, 57. Okay.
I don't understand why like people like it's not discrediting, but like knocking out Nate Robinson should not get you cred in the boxing ring. It's celebrity boxing.
I mean, it was only because you talked. Nate had
it don't matter. Yeah, it don't matter though.
And nobody expected him to be.
Why?
Nobody expected.
No black person.
What happened was nobody expected him to dominate Nate Robinson like
because
that.
We think that because people think black people and athletes, we think the pure dominant force. Just because you're an athlete don't mean you can fight. Just because you can dunk a basketball,
roasted Nate so crazy.
Just because you can dunk a basketball don't mean you can fight. It's real.
So like, do you think he's gonna beat Mike Tyson?
Well, what's Mike Tyson's weaknesses? How big is Jake Paul? Hold on. Let's be honest. Let's be fair. How big is Jake Paul? I don't know his height.
Like, I think he's 6 even.
Let's see his height. Let's see his height. Jake Paul, 6'1". So he's not much bigger than Mike Tyson. So if he was like, if I say he's like 6'3",
5'11", right?
Yeah, so it's not much. The height's not there. Maybe the weight. I don't know, but Tyson's older, so he can't wear on him. He's not going to be able to weigh him down, right? Because that's Tyson's weakness was, bigger fighters. He couldn't get in the range. If you had length, you couldn't really, he can't fuck with length. Or if you clinch him up and hold him and he can't do all that, you know what I'm saying? He too long, you jab him back, he can't work with it. And also Tyson's weakness was 3 rounds. Tyson could never last past 3 rounds.
That's why he always came out like that pit bull.
Because he just didn't have stamina to last the length. You know what I'm saying? He just come to get you out of there. So, I mean, if 57-year-old Tyson, who's been training like a monster, I mean, Jake Paul can last 2 rounds with him. And if he's in any type of shape, that's a win for Jake Paul. Just to be like, I sparred with Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Even if you get a couple licks in, it's like, damn, I got to box with Mike Tyson. That's pretty fire. 57 years old version of Mike Tyson, regardless. But you can't be like, oh, he's tight. It's like, 60-year-old man.
I wonder if Mayweather will ever fight him. I wonder if
Some,
Mayweather didn't fight
yes.
him for a reason.
Yes, at some point he will when the money's right. It's all this shit is money. It's not really about the fighting because look, he's not fighting for belts. He's not fighting for like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? He's just fighting to make money. So it's not like he's not doing like Shakira Stevenson and them and they fighting the Bud and they fighting for belts and shit. Ryan Garcia, they trying to get the belts and the money. He fighting for his own bread because he's his own entity. So he really not even like a part of what they got going on. It's almost like N1 and NBA. And I think that's what people getting it conflated. It's like
the big three.
Yes. It's like real boxing is the what you're calling. This is like the dunk contest kind of like vibe. Where how all starts like, oh, because like unless he start fighting like, oh, I'm about to sign the WBA, I'm about to fight, the next contender. Then I'm like, okay. But it's not like he's weak. He's not terrible. And he works on his craft. So you have to give him some credit. It's not like he's out there and he's a bum. And that's the thing I think that caught a lot of people off guard is like, no. He ain't got nothing but time and money. And if you got time and money, you can get good at anything. So he has nothing but time. He been rich for a long time and they internet famous. So why can't you just be in the gym all day and get a trainer and get good at boxing? So yeah, that's what he looks like he's been doing. He might really love the sport and he's decent for sure. But it's going to be fun to watch, but it's not like I'm like,
and I didn't know it was on Netflix. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, does he have a deal with Netflix?
I don't know who. Somebody got to deal with somebody. But yeah, it's going to be on Netflix July 20th. Fine. And I'm like, okay.
That's fine. I don't have they signed the contract? Because the last thing I said, Tyson was like signing the contract or whatever.
Okay.
So maybe
I thought this was official.
I don't know yet. I mean, the last thing I saw on the internet is Tyson had a shirt on was like sign the fucking contract or something like that. It was on Instagram. You probably could look it up. But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, to say the least.
I'll definitely be watching.
I'm definitely gonna watch. I ain't crazy. I love fights. So I love boxing. So it's not like he's a weak fighter. I just don't like when he fights like. It's not fun watching a fighter fight competition that's not necessarily up to your skill level. It's kind of like, what's the point here? So when a fighter's fighting someone who of equal skill, it's kind of like, oh, that's tight. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's different styles, you can kind of see something out of it. But like, this could be fun. This is going to be one of his hardest challenges. Even at 57, it's going to be the hardest fighter he's ever fought by far.
Which is crazy in itself.
He's probably never felt a punch like what he's about to feel. So like it's gonna feel different, and Mike got certain moves he can do. He can get dirty, and then also it's just the fear of Mike Tyson and what he's done in the past. That's gonna be in the back of your mind. You've seen him bite Evander Holyfield ear when he lost it, when he couldn't handle losing, right? He couldn't process losing, so he lashed out by biting his ear. You know what I'm saying? So you've seen him, and he said, the only way I come back to boxing if I get into that, I have to be in that war, that war mind. And he did. So obviously he's been back in that, because that's, when he fought Roy Jones, you can see who really trained for what, you know what I'm saying?
Well, supposedly in that fight, I guess there was some kind of agreement that there couldn't be no shots to the head or something.
Hell yeah. Because Tyson really trained and Roy did not. And Roy ain't boxing no more. So it was like fun. He's old and fat, running around the ring punching. Tyson was like really like, so like, yeah, they're not going to let him throw a uppercut or like throw an overhand.
Man, we boxing. You step in this ring.
There's rules. There's rules to it. It's rules to spar, especially there's rules to that. Because like even when you spar, like when I used to spar, shout out to the Fight Club. We used to spar, gang. In the basement, for real gloves and everything. But yeah, the rules like no uppercuts, no overhands, no things, no nothing that'll get you out of here. Now, if someone runs into a jab and they go to sleep, then that's just kind of like, damn, you caught him with a cold one. But like, because a jab will drop you. But like, nothing that's like, I'm coming over. I'm coming with this boom. Like, oh no, relax. But Tyson, I think they throwing. I don't think there's gonna be no rules in this Paul fight. But two old dudes, yeah, come on, man. When the last time both of them probably already got CTE of some kind.
Oh shit!
What?
You said both of them probably got CTE. I'm like, oh shit.
Bro, think about it. Boxers get hit in the head all day. Pop. pop, pop, pop. If soccer players can get concussions from doing headers on a ball, what do you think happens to a boxer every fight? Or, you know what I'm saying? It's getting like, wow, tap, tap. And you just, like,
Take it.
No, I'm cool. Put your hands up.
Exactly. So, now getting back into the gaming realm of things. One thing that you know about me is when it comes to this whole remake and remaster, and
You love them.
I hate them. Like this has been like the generation of remakes and remastering of games, and so and I don't mind remakes and remasterings. I just hate. I dislike that they do them with games that like just came out. If a game came out within the last 5 years, I don't want to see a remake of that. It just came out. That's like if they remade God of War. I'm like, bro, that really. All right.
But
So I'm glad
we got a new engine.
Yeah, pretty much. And I came across this article, which is a really good read. It's on GameIndustry.biz, and the title of it is "Best Time to Remake a Video Game Between 10 to 20 Years Later." And I'm like, in my position, we have analysts that do stuff like this. Like we get the numbers, we analyze, we see what are the best outcomes. I know in video games they have to have analysts who analyze this data. So if GameIndustry.biz was able to come up with this data, how are they not? So, and to me, that time frame sounds perfect, between 10 to 20 years.
Well. Also, it says new study also reveals that remasters perform best when the game is under 5 years old.
Right.
So that's key because every remake isn't a remake. Some remakes are remasters.
So, and that's what I was getting ready to say. So there's a difference between the remakes and the remasters.
Yes.
And so, which I still have not gotten down the definition of them because they both sound the same to me.
Well,
because remasters originally was what Sony was doing to their older games that weren't in HD, weren't 60 frames per second, and they didn't have trophies. They were calling those remasters.
Right.
And Sony was like one of the first to do that. And then now everything is a remake and a remaster.
Which is what a remaster is. Think of film, right? So like when you watch a remaster of a film, it's really just an up conversion of the film into a new That's what remasters are, right? But somewhere it got a little confused. Remake is literally the game from the ground up being either put into a new engine or the same engine, but with, or to look modern, right? To like the highest degree. So The Last of Us Part 1 remastered is a remaster, right? It is literally The Last of Us, but just up converted to run on, was the PS4 Pro, PS4, whatever. The Last of Us Part 2 remake or whatever, remaster, is it called a remaster too?
What?
The Last of Us, what is that called? The Last of Us.
I think they just called that one a remake.
Yeah, either way, that the Last of Us is a remake because it's the old game in like the newer engine, or like, is that, yeah, because they put new assets in it too. That's another thing too, like newer assets, new this, new that. Whereas a remaster is literally just like an up conversion, remastering. So, but then yeah, some people name it differently. So yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends on the game. I don't really know what is right or wrong with those. Like, I know you don't like them. I mean, it's because some of them are cool and some of them aren't. You know what I'm saying? And then it also just depends on what they put into it. And a lot of times they be cheap, and they'll try to charge you the full price, and it don't be like worth the price of admission, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
my thing is there's so many
other games,
classic games that they could be remaking, like so many classics that were either missed by a whole generation of gamers that are now gaming now, or that would be amazing to see them in, well, I mean, now 4K 60 or 1080 60, whatever, throwing trophies on them and,
Sure.
achievements or what have you. There's so many great games, especially just focusing on Sony. Like, Sony's library is so rich, their catalog is so rich and so deep, and there's so many games they could pull from. I mean,
Warhawk.
hell, just
Bring back
I
Warhawk.
mean,
Warhawk.
Warhawk.
Bring back Warhawk.
What was that?
Resistance. Bring back Resistance.
What was that stealth game? I can't remember. It's not
Siphon
Splinter
Filter.
Cell.
Bring back
Yeah.
Siphon Filter. Come on, man. Come on.
I'm like, that would be
Come
a
on.
great game
Yeah.
to either remaster
Yeah, our live service.
or to.
It's crazy they got live service games in the tuck and they just making like dumb ones. Oh man, it's so stupid. They got hits. They got some ones that if they brought back into a live service form, people would probably be pissed because they changing it. Like how people were mad at Marathon going from like being a single player shooter to an extract shooter, which I kind of feel a way about too. But hopefully it's good. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Destiny does have a good update right now. Got a new skimmer type surfboard thing. It's kind of cool. Anyway, yeah, man. I don't know.
You got back into Destiny?
No, but I might just to get that skimmer and then leave again. Yeah, I done lost my train of thought.
So the PS5 Pro, the rumor is that it's coming out this fall, and they're talking about it might feature AI upscaling. I'm so curious. With AI still being fairly new,
New to consumers.
True. Well, new to consoles too. Like, I'm curious what that'll look like.
Well, it's not new to. I mean, it's not really like. I mean, they already do AI on the back end, but I mean, it would be just like with your graphics card, like just what is NVIDIA doing? They got tensor cores inside. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, it's the same thing what NVIDIA is probably doing. They're just copying that. You know what I'm saying? Because all your image upscaling is all that DLSS is AI image upscaling, and that's what they mean by that. Like DLSS is AI image upscaling.
And it's very interesting to me because I don't. Well, obviously, Sony hasn't even announced the
speculation.
the PS5 Pro, so I know it's not them. But it's very interesting how everybody is just assuming that, because even within this article, everybody's assuming that Sony is going to use GTA 6 to market with the PS5 Pro, and I'm like, Sony didn't even officially announce this thing yet, and it's very interesting to me how they're already talking as if this has been a confirmed thing. I mean,
it's pretty much confirmed.
But the fact that they're even putting it with GTA 6,
well, because everybody knows the elephant in the room, right? That's the big monster in the room. That's the one that that's the one that everybody's like watching out for. When is it coming out in 2025, right? Is it coming out early? Is it coming out late? So
I'm gonna say October.
Either way, that's what the whole industry's watching for, that, Sony included. So it could be something they would want to show off. And what better company to show your new device and be like, hey, man, we want to get them in your hands first so you can get it working the best
if they're smart.
Yeah, I mean,
if they're smart.
And on both of their hands, right? Because listen, GTA waited to make sure there was enough of these high-power consoles and graphics cards out there eventually so that shit can run good. So they would probably want it to run better than what they rented. You know what I'm saying? So like if the baseline on this is that PS5 is something, then the PS Pro version would be more, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to see what they do if they are waiting on that. But I can see the next gen consoles or the pros or whatever coming with AI ups. It's just what everybody's doing. FSR, NVIDIA is really leading it, right, with DLSS, but and all that frame generation and shit. But yeah.
So I had mentioned this earlier, and this is coming from Ubisoft's boss stating that players need to start feeling comfortable with not owning games. And I mean, I'm not gonna say I agree with them, but I'll say I understand where he's coming from. Because I mean, personally, I already feel that we don't already anyway. I mean, even if you own the physical copy of a game, I still don't feel that you own the game because once those servers go down, it's like you just own the disc at that point. However, on the flip side, I feel that you do, you know,
It's for the preservation of video games, dog. Because if you think about it, if everything's server side, when the servers do crash, there will be everything will be, you know what I'm saying? So it's a yeah, you don't own the license to your game. We never have, right? We never owned the license. They've been shutting off servers since the dawn of time, since the internet's been involved, or what.
but what happens if you lose your account
What do you mean?
and you own the physical copy? Can you still not
What do you mean?
play that game?
No, I mean, you mean like if I had a disc and I lost my account?
Yeah.
No, I could just go make another account and put the disc in.
Yeah.
Like,
so that alone.
You know what I'm saying? So like it wouldn't. It's so the disc is a key. It's not an entitlement. The entitlement's on the store. The disc is just gonna go. You are entitled to this entitlement from the store. Download now, please. If it's not on the disc, right? So like, yeah, that's why being able to share a disc still is valuable because like, yeah, while it's if you have it digital, it's over. It's just on their servers, and if they close down like Stadia or something, it's over. It's gone forever.
Well, buying my game. I mean, I'm already.
So that's why picking
I'm
your
already,
ecosystem is so important. And everybody wants an ecosystem.
Well, even then.
Yeah, it's not safe.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's not safe. No, it's not safe. Yeah.
When my account got hacked.
Yeah, it was over. Yeah.
All those games are gone.
Yeah, it was cool.
So why I like going digital, that's a prime example as to why going physical is
it's still a thing because imagine like if somebody snatched your somebody did snatch your shit.
Yeah.
And luckily we were able to get it back like we were, yeah, bro, that's a trip. Yeah, because like and that could be the reason as to why we talked about physical media is climbing a little bit because of that right there. Like, yeah. If I buy a digital, there is a convenience. Some things should be bought digital, but not everything should be bought digital.
And the fact that they don't see my thing is I'm not sure how Microsoft has it set up, but I know specifically with Sony, there's something like that needs to change. If my account gets hacked or I lose access to my account or whatever the case may be, like I should not lose.
No, you shouldn't lose everything.
Access to my digital library.
No.
Like, so something like that. So that definitely, hopefully eventually at some point they're able to rectify that. But I feel sorry for people.
They got customer service is
trash. Customer service at Sony is so trash because I remember when I was calling during that time frame, like number one,
they're basically gonna tell you, "Fuck you, it's nothing you can do. Sorry, you lost your
pretty
account.
much.
Suck it."
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna tell you. They're gonna tell you,
and I'm like, I didn't spent all this fucking money,
and they don't give a shit.
And that's the answer that you got from me.
That's all they got. That's all they got.
Like, so yeah, they definitely have to figure that out or fix that. However, the reason why, because again, that's just the headline, is players need to start feeling comfortable with not owning games, which, like, for me personally, I'm kind of already there. I already feel that I don't own this shit. Like, it's nice to think and say that I do, but if they want to pull the shit from you, they can.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so, but the reason, but the reason Ubisoft is saying that is because of their service Ubisoft Plus Premium, and a lot of these uh, companies that have these Netflix type services, they're ready to go the streaming route with them. And so in the article they talked about how the market is already comfortable with streaming music and movies that they don't own. And so they're saying that the gaming community is the last community pretty much that isn't comfortable streaming their content yet, which you and I, we've had those
Yeah,
talks
for
for
sure.
quite some time. And that's pretty much what they're talking
I just
about
think they
is,
don't understand that like movie streaming is different than gaming. There is no input latency. And while streaming is cool, everything streaming ain't there yet. And there's already input latency in your monitor. There's input latency in the controller, the mouse and keyboard you're using. There's input latency in your internet connection. So factoring all that in, right? You're now streaming this game back and forth. So like how much input latency? I just watched a video Digital Foundry did recently, and he talked about the input latency that PS Cloud versus X Cloud, right? And while PS Plus has like better looking quality, it has more input latency. So it looks like Microsoft focused on like better inputs, where PlayStation went for like visuals, right? Like it looks amazing, right? So like it looks good on your handheld device over streaming, right? And that's just different philosophies. But like that input latency for certain games is so important. So like, how are you going to play a Call of Duty? How are you going to play certain games that are twitchy, where you need like people want to be the fastest? You know what I'm saying? So games like Ratchet and Clank, yeah, you probably can get away with a little lag, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But like certain games, it's hard for gamers. I understand it's gonna be tough for gamers to ever succumb to like the stream, unless we get like some shit where streaming is just like, the internet is just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Where we like downloading shit and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I just sent you this 20 gig file in like 3 seconds. Like that type of shit to where it's like, oh my God, we finally got it to where they figured out some new fibers and we can just send shit just pow, 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 pow.
well, within the article, they actually talked about that. And they were saying that everybody is going to have the same latency issues. So it's going to be pretty much fair across the board.
Yeah, but that don't make it cool though.
Well, no,
You get what I'm saying?
no.
Like you're telling
But
me, hey, the lag you're feeling is okay. Because we're all feeling it. It's like, I don't want to feel it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So what are you telling me? Lag sucks in games. Movies don't lag. So you can't, I hate sometimes when these industry people compare gaming to like you can compare it in other aspects, but when it comes to like the technical shit, you can't. When I go see Doom tomorrow night, it's not gonna matter if the copy was like a what you call them, but if we were playing on that screen and we felt that lag, we'd be like, everybody there would be like, you would instantly be like, no, that's not right. Something's not right. You know what I'm saying? Because gaming is so intimate and immediate, you feel it. You know what I'm saying? It's very like emotional, so it's a touching thing. Like, and when you're good, you feel it. Whether you're mouse and keying, you can feel that input lag. Like, I mean, when I'm playing on the rig, if something's happening, you can feel spikes and lags, and it's different. Movies, you don't care about that. Like, I've never cared about lag in a movie in my life. I've been watching movies since Betamax. Care about no lag. So like, I hate that comparison. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like it's not an equivalent. It's like apples and oranges, but like the common person listening to that won't, we get it, right? But like the common person, like, oh yeah, why not? It's like, no. They're not the same. Because when you're going to play a game, you're going to be pissed when that shit is feeling heavy. Because that's what lag feels. It's going to feel heavy. And you're going to be like, why do I feel so heavy? Why is it so sluggish to move? A game like Mario Brothers, that's an input lag game. That game needs to have quick responses. So how do you do Mario? How did you do those puzzle, those, you know what I'm saying? Those games you need to be like precise in your jumps. Tough. You could do a Candy Crush on stream though, for sure. Mute.
thank you. Even though they were talking about streaming, one thing that I feel that they're also trying to say in that article is outside of I want to say outside of Gamecast, outside of game, because I don't know how all these subscription services are doing. Like, I don't know how well Sony's is doing. I don't know
Which
because
one?
EA has one. The
Oh, the plus tiers.
the Game Pass side of the service, yeah.
Uh,
Because obviously Xbox Game Pass is I would assume that they're probably leading all these Netflix gaming type
yeah,
services.
I would assume so.
Because Ubisoft has theirs, EA has theirs.
You have to really love
Um,
Ubisoft. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be like a Ubi head to like fuck with Ubisoft. Like that's a weird one.
so
That's always been a weird one to me.
here's the interesting part is because it's $17 a
I
month,
love Far Cry.
but
I love
they
Assassin's
don't
Creed.
they don't
I like Assassin's Creed.
they don't every new game doesn't come with their service like with Microsoft's. All their new games come in there. So that's the only thing with Ubisoft is you don't know which new
Right.
game they're gonna put in there. Whereas with Microsoft, you just know any new Microsoft exclusive is hitting the service. So I mean because I like Far Cry.
I guess it just
I
depends
don't
on the
know if I would
person.
necessarily because their thing because the thing that they're also trying to sell is their subscription, and that's
Right.
the other part of it that they're saying we want gamers to get used to not owning games because we want them to sign up for
Yeah,
our
they just want you
subscription
to buy the subscription.
service.
So that's what everybody's trying to do. Everybody eventually is gonna go to where if you pay how much every year, you get all the Ubisoft games and you just download them. They all want to do Game Pass now. That's what most of them
Yeah,
are trying to do, and it's sad and gross, and they're probably going to end up killing gaming for a while, and then it'll come back at some point and be reborn different. But like, yeah, it's definitely going down it's going down an interesting path because it's not about the games right now. It's really just about bread.
it's about the
But I
business.
think gamers are like anime fans are very boisterous when it comes to their gamers might be the most. They do not stand for bullshit. So like either they not gonna buy your game or you know what I'm saying, they will not fuck with you. So
We'll see. Gamers are kind of finicky, in my opinion.
that's true too.
Like so sometimes they can be boisterous, other times they could be pieces of shit. I'm just like, y'all really just gonna let this? Okay,
But it's nothing we could, at some point it's nothing you can do. Right?
it is because we've seen
Vote with your pockets.
which just changed. Like we were just talking about Wendy's and their whole little was that Wendy's?
Yeah, it was Wendy's, the AI board.
Yeah, and their whole little AI thing. Oh, we're gonna surcharge you based off.
That
And
was
they
so
heard that
crazy.
feedback and they was like, okay, yeah, no, we
I
canceling
told-
it. We
I
ain't
told-
doing that.
I told my girl, I said, well,
So-
I guess I can't go get them French toast sticks after 2025. It's over. We're just going to have to make my own. Damn.
That's
They got the
funny.
best French toast sticks.
Or go when it ain't busy.
They beat Jack in the Box. They got the best French toast sticks.
But yeah, I would I subscribe to one of these services? Like I said, I don't know if I would. I'd have to see the Far Cry game because I don't buy every single Far Cry, but I would play it.
They haven't been Far Cry in a long time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They've been like the same game over and over again. I mean, Avatar is Far Cry. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
It's just
yeah,
a Far Cry with
That's Ubisoft,
right.
man.
And
They
it's not
just-
it's not saying it's a good game. It's a solid game for sure, but it's just Far Cry. So it's like rinse
yeah, but
watching
they all have
the
those
bases.
Same,
You gotta get to the bases and lock the
get
bases.
to the
yeah.
antenna.
Yeah.
That's gonna unlock
The area.
and you'll be able to see all the side missions and it's like okay, come
Same
on,
shit.
guys.
Every game.
So next up is keep it along with the bullshit in gaming. Take-Two CEO thinks longer games should cost more money. I think that's the dumbest shit ever.
I'm with him.
What? Oh, do you know how many?
Inflation's real, dog. A price of an apple
Do you-
is more expensive than it was in 1982. Okay, so games should not be $30. They need to be $800. It's an expensive hobby. Okay.
But he's saying
Yeah, by time, how much time I put into this game, you need to pay me more money. So if Grand Theft Auto took me 10 years to make. This motherfucker should be $1,000. You not gonna pay it?
Kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. Especially, see, I'm hearing shit like that from
You ain't gonna play it?
Take-Two, and Take-Two's the publisher.
You ain't gonna play it?
But when I know
You ain't gonna take a loan out and play it?
Rockstar has made a shit ton of money
But you're not gonna play it?
off of GTA 5.
Shit, all of them.
But really,
Yeah,
off
the
of
five.
GTA,
Yeah, for
they've
sure.
probably made the
The
most
most
money
off of 5,
ever
yeah. They made the most
off
money.
of 5. Like
I mean, they made more money than
fucking
anything.
shark cards, and I know me personally, I didn't put in a good $200 on shark cards, and that's low. That's low. Like my boy, shout out to Jay McNeil. Jay didn't put in, because that fool got the yachts.
Oh yeah, people got the hacks and all the crazy cars and all that shit. Yeah.
Like, bro, they've made so. I remember at one point when they were saying, I forgot, like there was a statistic that came out and said that they had made like 5 times. How was it? It was like they made 5 times
the amount they've made off of one game, what they've made off all their games, probably something like that.
So no, they made that's what it was. They made 5 times what they made off the initial sell of the game through online. And
that's crazy.
I want to say GTA.
Oh, it made a billion.
5
it made like $1 billion in a day. Remember, it was something crazy when it launched. It made like $1 billion in a day. It made something in 24 hours. Like it was like what?
And so for them to make 5
that's
times
when people still lined up to go get games. That's when it was outside. Or no,
and that article
and it was digital
out.
too. It was digital, and it was people were still outside because people weren't fully converted to digital yet.
Right.
Yeah.
And that article came out.
I was outside
during the PS4, so they are probably at 20 times what they made. Like they've made so much,
and it's not stopping.
And they're still supporting this game.
Yeah, still support.
They still just dropped some DLC for. So
no, it's not dead at all.
Miss me with the bullshit when y'all are making. Like my thing is, how much money do y'all motherfuckers want to make?
More money, more money, more money. What are you talking about? How much money? It's never enough.
Miss me with the. We did $1 billion in a day, but we think games should cost. Come on, man.
Yeah, I want more money,
on, bro.
What are you talking about? Give me more money. How do you make more money? By making more money. Give me more money, okay? Give me more. I'm making this game. You don't like it? What's your problem?
And do you know how many games would make just lengthy ass bullshit, a whole bunch of nothing, 100-hour games?
Oh, you mean like these artists?
They could charge
you mean
more?
Like these artists that make these long ass albums for no reason? Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? You mean like that? You mean like people that just make albums 20, 37 songs long? You never listen to them all? You mean like that? Hacking the system?
What's the benefit of that?
Hacking the system, running up the
more streams,
running up the screams, running up the screams. It's like 7. You just dropped 7 albums. You dropped 45 songs. It's like 7 albums. So just run up the streams, run them up, run amok. Dropping everything. It's all out.
I think Chris Brown just has that much content.
Fuck out of here. It's stupid as hell. He just run up the numbers.
I mean, it is.
That's why you never listen to them albums. You get to like song 13 and you be like, all right, bro, I'm out.
I love it. If it's an artist like Chris Brown, I'll eventually get through it.
Have you ever got through one of the long ones?
Brown. Huh?
How many?
No, I said I eventually.
Yeah,
will.
some of them out, bro. You got like 4 of them long ass albums. How many of them long ass albums have you got through?
I've gotten through all of them.
Oh, you amazing.
Because what I do is I'm a playlist person, so I'll go through and I'll listen to the ones I like and I'm throwing them on the different playlists that I got, like Grown and Sexy, R&B vibes, whatever. So, but I don't get through them like the same day. I'll probably listen to, because the thing for me is working. I need something to do. So whether I'm listening to a podcast, Select Star Radio is a podcast I do listen to at work, or
he don't.
watching my sports show. Like I need content to help me get through the day. And so when he drops albums like that, I'll probably listen to like a good 15 to 20.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, okay, I need to do something else because I can only stay on one thing for so long before it starts to get boring, or I'm not even listening anymore.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think maybe it's just me. I think, for me, music, it just feels different. And I just think certain albums, you expect albums to be like albums, right? And not just like a bunch of singles, because that's what they're doing, just making a bunch of songs on playlists. It's not really like you're making an album.
Creativity is damn near dead.
Nah, I disagree.
In certain spaces, creativity is damn near
dead. I disagree. I think mainstream maybe, but that's the whole point of mainstream media. Is mainstream, so whatever.
Well, I mean, a lot of these cats they make songs for TikTok, so they can get their numbers up. Like people always try to keep their songs below 3 minutes to keep you restreaming it over and over.
Yeah, I mean, the TikTokification of music is terrible. But I mean, there's still artists that make good music. Not everybody's TikToking.
Well, I'm not saying
TikTok's dead. TikTok damn near dead anyway. When they lost Universal, it was over.
Yeah,
you lost Taylor Swift,
but
so you can't. It's over for you. You can't make no Taylor Swift TikToks. Universal coming for your neck, so it's over. It's over. That's why they struggling. That's why they just sent that little notification to your phone yesterday, like fight Congress. Please help us. Help. It's like gonna stop showing our kids terrible videos and you show your kids nice ones.
You show your kids nice
They do. They show science videos and China's TikTok version doesn't show, like, we get ratchet shit. You know what I'm saying? And they kids can't even watch that, which is crazy. It's like
so then that kind of goes back to
it's wild.
What you and I were talking about earlier. It's like, do you want the government controlling everything?
No, but
like some things we want the government to come in.
Yeah, but that's one of the things. It's like you should probably put your hand. It's like they kind of sabotaging our youth on purpose. they youth watch science videos, bro. At a certain time, they can only watch certain videos so long that most time they got to watch during school. That it's like, oh, it's just like that on this app, and it's like over here, it's just the wild, wild west. They can see whatever they want. And TikTok is wild, so you can see whatever you want on there. So
the last piece of news for the day. We're gonna take it back. I personally feel, I'm curious what your take on this. I feel like the PlayStation 2 is the most classic console ever to exist. I feel like that. I feel like some of the best gaming experiences for me came from the PlayStation 2 generation.
Over Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis?
So
and you have to understand, people listening, we're of a certain age. So, for me, I remember seeing like ColecoVision, Google it, so there's some consoles that existed when I was coming up that you would be like, what? I'm like, yeah, that was a thing. Magnavox made a console, Philips, CDI, all that shit. So, man, really?
So I feel you. Like Super NES, that was my shit. Like the first Sega.
Are you saying to you?
That was my shit. Yeah, to me.
Okay. Are you saying like, okay. Like, are you just saying like indefinite? This is the greatest. I mean, I know it's the highest selling.
The games that came out that generation, like I feel like that might have been one of the best gaming libraries. Maybe I should probably say that. I feel like that was one of the best gaming libraries, the PlayStation 2, in like the history of gaming, because that's when you had your Guitar Heroes.
Oh man, that's not on my.
You had your Sly Coopers. One of my favorite games of all time that I wish that they would bring back is NBA Street. Like, I put so many hours into NBA Street Rock Band. Loved Rock Band. Tony Hawk. Like, I wasn't even in the skating, and I put mad hours into Tony Hawk. Ratchet and Clank was probably at their peak during the PlayStation 2 generation. Like, I want to say Burnout came out. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say Burnout came out during the PlayStation 2 generation. My introduction to Devil May Cry was the PlayStation 2. Funny, I'm not really a big fan of Devil May Cry anymore. But
it's crazy because 5 is the best game.
Really?
Yeah, by far. It's tight.
When did that come out?
Cope.
Like, did they come out this gen or PS4?
They got a remaster. It came out last gen, but they got a new gen.
I'm sure they did.
But it came out launch though. It came out launch of the consoles though. So like they just redid it because it came out. It's all right. You can get that for cheap.
And then the introduction of God of War. I vividly remember God of War coming out like towards the end of the PlayStation 2 generation. That God of Man, that it was almost like the PS2 was Sony's coming out party.
All those,
and then Bully, one of the most slept on games of all time, and I truly believe that Bully is one of the most slept on games of all time.
I'm gonna be honest.
GTA 3 came out on the PS2.
All the GTA.
Vice
City.
Like that library is so
and San Andreas
classic, huh?
San Andreas too, right? Or was that PS3?
Yeah.
San Andreas was PS2 too, and then PS3 was only PS3 is PS3 is 4, and then PS3 had 4 and 5, and then after that 5, it's just been 5. So there was 3 PS2 games, and then there was 1 PS4. There's 2 PS3 games, and then there's just been 5 after that. That's it.
Yeah, because San Andreas. Yeah, so like, I'm just saying. I feel maybe I shouldn't say it's the best console.
No,
ever.
you got a case.
I should say.
No, you got a
I
case.
should say it has the most classic.
No, you have a case. Look, it's the best selling
ever.
console of all time. You have a fight. It's not like I'm just trying to think, right? And I'm like, I don't want to discredit something. Like, yes, it is, because I'm thinking of the Super Nintendo, and I'm just like, that was a monster lineup of game. I'm like, Super Mario World alone is like, man. So
anything Nintendo.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, Nintendo and Sega had a run.
At one point, Sega was better than Nintendo. It's crazy.
Yeah, then they became stupid.
They just got too big for the britches.
Yeah, then they became stupid, and they was like, "Oh, Sega CD, oh Sega."
I had all them shits. I had them all. 32X, Sega. They all came out the same year, and I ironed my little money and went to Target and got my stacked Sega CD, because I didn't want the one that had the attachment on the side with the disc drive. I wanted the one with the tray that popped out, because I had the old school Genesis with the volume rocker and 32X. And they all had power cords. Stupid as fuck, but fire, because that's what consumer electronics looked like back then. You know what I'm saying? Like hella plugs and shit. So it just felt right. But yeah, that's dumb as hell. And then think about that. The 32X came out that year, and then a year later they didn't. Maybe not even a year. The Saturn. They announced the Saturn. They pretty much cannibalized both consoles,
and that's when I was like, yeah,
that's when everybody started fading on Sega, because it was like the Saturn. You wanted to like the Saturn, but it was just like, damn. And then it came out so fast. It was like, I can't get all of these shits. And then the PlayStation came, and it was
and then the Dreamcast.
The Dreamcast came later,
and I was like, nah, I'm getting the PS2.
I had both. I had Dreamcast, arguably one of the greatest consoles of all time.
Probably. We never got to see it because
I played it. First console with internet. First console with full web browser.
they didn't have a full life cycle, so
Yeah, I mean they were already out the game anyway. It was hard to develop for. They were still in their cocky, like we gonna make our own architecture, and everybody else was making more friendly architectures. That's what happened to it. You know what I'm saying? Because the same dude that designed the Dreamcast designed Xbox 360. So that's a good one though, bro. And I mean, you forgot probably the best game. And I feel away. I just lost down this chair. I feel away. You mentioned all these
Final Fantasy.
No, you mentioned all these irrelevant
Metal
games.
Gear Solid.
Yeah, I was about to say you disrespected
Which
the
one? Snake
2.
Eater or 4?
You tell me. 2.
Was it 2?
Yes. PlayStation 2. Yes.
Because I remember
PlayStation.
Oh
2,
yeah, 3 and 2 came out.
So 2 of the best Metal Gear games.
Yeah, 2.
Yes.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, 2 was
2 alone is enough. Because three's probably the best, but 2 alone, just for what it did, the reveal. There's no game on that console that's had a reveal like that. The anticipation of what that was, and you got to think like this is when we didn't have access to E3 or these conferences or they weren't doing that, so we got that shit. So Kojima cut that trailer. Like it was like you had to hunt those things down, and like to see that was crazy back then. That a lot of people don't remember. That's like getting this gaming information wasn't like this. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. You had to dig
back
and
when I
hunt.
was subscribed to everything.
The rumors were lie. Every lie was real. You know what I'm saying? Think about it, because like there's so many lies that were told and they weren't real. But how could you vet it? There was no internet, so we didn't know what was happening in Japan unless you were in Japan, or we didn't know what was happening in Europe unless you were in Europe. We had to get our game,
or you had to wait a whole month to get your subscription to whatever magazine you was subscribed
and then
to.
And then you getting coverage based on each magazine's representation of what they got. You know what I'm saying? So now you got to watch them all to see it. And it was different. It was different. So now you get it all. You can get all of it. So now you're spoiled. You get too much of it. That's why we don't have any secrets anymore, because everything's out there. So there used to be like secrecy, like no one finding out that.
Or you got dumbasses like Insomniac leaking the shit them damn selves.
Yeah, so it's just the internet fucked up everything when it comes to that. But yeah, it's different, man. But Metal Gear 2, what it did for the PlayStation, that reveal.
Shadow of Colossus.
I mean, that's the greatest game of all time. That's a
that
PS3 game though, right?
No, that was 2.
Oh, it was 2.
That's what I'm saying. That library was insane, bro. That library was not to be fucked with. Like SingStar, like that library was just no. SingStar came out PS. No, did SingStar come out PS2?
The original SingStar.
I think it did come out PS2.
That's a good question.
That one did come out PS2 because the sequel was on PS3, and that's when you were able to share your videos and stuff like that. So yeah, SingStar came out PS2. And I remember iToy came out. Because me and my niece and nephew used to play all the iToy games. Like, man, yeah, the PlayStation 2 generation for me was just, and that's back when I had the original PlayStation 2, then I got the Slim.
Yeah, that's when it mattered to have those consoles. Yeah,
like
I remember I had the fucking the modem.
I had that silver joint.
I had the modem so I could play Gran Turismo when it first had online.
So calm. What the? How did I forget that?
Yeah.
Bro,
SOCOM.
That was my introduction into online gaming with SOCOM. Like, SOCOM was one of my favorite games of all time. I remember it came with a mic.
Yeah.
Because you could
command the troops.
You could voice and command your troops.
No one's done that since yet.
What to do.
Yeah, no one's tried to do that yet, and we have better voice dictation now.
They had one where you commanded these 2 females. It was a Japanese game.
It never came out.
And I want to say it came out with the PlayStation 3.
It never came out.
Oh, it never came out?
I know what you're talking about. They showed that stupid game off. It never came out. That shit was stupid as fuck. That never came out. Never came out, bro.
But yes, SOCOM
and if it did, it never lived up to it. That's why we don't hear about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
So it's like, if it came out, then
when I
know exactly what you're talking
about.
Yeah, that was like the Milo demo for fucking Kinect. Remember that? When Peter Molyneux was like, "Hello, Milo, here's a piece of paper," and then the paper came. It's like, "Oh, thank you. what are you doing today? And we're like, oh shit, you gonna be able to talk to that little motherfucker? Shut up. That shit was fake as a they be trolling our stupid ass with the fucking good ass. But now, which is so crazy, back then we didn't have access to those things. They was like, they showed us what they showed us, and then that's it. But now it's so much insider leaking, and people are so much, we're so more aware of CGI and fakes now. So we can tell when something's staged. You know what I'm saying? Now we have a way better understanding, and people are way smarter now when it comes to those videos. So they would never get away with that bullshit now. They handed the paper to the here, Milo. Oh, thank you. I was like, oh, it's about to be real. We were dumb as hell. I can't believe they got us. We thought Connect was about to change it all.
Some pedophile was about to fuck the shit out that little boy.
That's why his Epstein ass made that game. Oh, Epstein face ass made that game for that reason, probably. Look,
You about to kill me. Oh man.
Now you might be right. You might be right. The PS2 might be the best. It might be the GOAT. You know, it's hard to like some of the games you named. There's probably ones we're missing, but when I just thought about Metal Gear 2 and like I can remember that E3 and that
DJ
trailer.
Hero.
That PS3.
Those?
Mm-hmm.
None of those PS.
Microwave, George Foreman grill console. I remember because I can see myself and where I was at the time. I didn't have a PS2 then, for sure. It was PS3. It was the end of the PS3 too. Remember, because it came out late. It was like a year, or it was like almost, but right before the PS4 came out. Because I definitely had that on DJ Hero 2.
Hold up.
Yeah, 2010. PS3, Wii, PS3, Xbox 360, and then DJ Hero 1 came out 2009, a year. So they came out back to back. Yeah. But so it was on PS2 as well. So it was on. I had it on PS3 and 360. I had it on PS3. It was on 360. It was on Wii, PS2, PS3, and then 360. I had it on PS3.
When did the PS3 launch?
PS3? 06?
Yeah. Damn.
Yes. Remember, because they were still making PS2 games at that time. So,
Yeah,
now,
it's
the highest selling console. So, you know, they didn't stop. And that was a third party game. So, of course, they still going to make it because those games still sold on PS2. That's like Madden was still selling at that time.
PS2 was the highest.
Yeah, so you're not going to turn that off. And then at that time, remember, PS3 was hella expensive. So people were still buying PS2s. Or probably not by 09.
Okay. Yeah, so you're right. DJ Hero was. I mean, it was on.
It was.
I was.
Yeah, we was on PS3. We wasn't nobody buying that on PS2, or we weren't.
But yeah, that was the PS2 generation. That was a generation. PS2, Xbox 360 generation. That was a generation of music games because Guitar Hero was the first one to come out. Guitar Hero killed it. I remember I was working at Best Buy at that time, and we had like a demo area set up. It was a TV, it was a beanbag, and a guitar. And there was this guy who used to come in. Well, I say guy, he was probably high school, and he was like good, and like people would be surrounding that fool while he was playing. Like, but yeah, I have fond memories of that generation of gaming. Cause I remember when Guitar Hero came out, it was just like, it was like otherworldly. Like everybody was on that shit, like everybody. And then Rock Band came out.
There's somebody listening right, like talking about, I ain't on that shit. I wasn't fucking with no damn Guitar Hero. Everybody was on. Man, I ain't fuck with that shit.
Guitar Hero was the shit. Guitar Hero and Rock Band.
Yeah, Rock Band was the one. I mean, Guitar Hero started it all, but like Rock Band was like it took it and was like, I got it.
So do you? Do you think that's over and done with, or is there still a space for that?
Yeah, it's done. And the reason why it's done is the music industry.
Huh?
Because how much?
Yeah, you can
Like,
say that
because
again.
like, okay, look at this. How much were they charging for songs in?
$199.
Exactly. And you know what game I was gonna say, and it got canceled last year or the year before last, and it was actually a pretty good game. Fuser,
Fuse.
Fuser. So where you got to be like a
Oh, it got canceled.
yeah, they shut them server down. So I hope you didn't buy nothing on there. But they were charging full price for singles for but you only get 16. You only get a 16 of the song,
Which was
and it's a controlled 16. So it's not like, okay, you get the whole song and I can make a mix off the single, but in this game, it's like, no, you're giving me a controlled version of the song already. So basically, I'm limited into the 16 that you're giving me for every song. So it's like I can only make the mix so clean. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, and I'm paying the same price I would be paying on iTunes if I was just buying it and listening to it. But I'm
Right.
not getting the whole song. So it's like,
right.
So think about what they would do with Rock Band or that shit now. It's over.
That's why I'm like because I even said it back then. There has to be a way to like either give people like a digital code or something. Like you're paying that much for these songs and you don't like I can't put them on my phone or
Yeah, it's
at
gone.
that time I was like I can't put these on my iPod.
Your hard
and
drive on your console at the time. Remember, the consoles had music, so I couldn't even play these songs if I just wanted to play them.
Yeah.
You could at least be like, well, at least they were on the console. Now it's just they just gone. So all them packs you bought, the Sly and the Family Stone, and all them, you know what I'm saying? All them Rock Band songs is Microsoft got my bread, Activision got my bread.
and that's what I'm saying. That like so getting used to not owning shit, you know, calling back to that Ubisoft article, I'm already used to it. Like what once you buy all this digital content, once you're done with it, it's gone. It just goes into the digital universe. Like you don't like that. That's why in my mind, I've already came to
They
the
need to
conclusion
do a
that I
better.
don't
They
own
need
any
to
of
do
this
a better
shit.
job though for the preservation of gaming.
But they won't.
I know, and it's gonna suck because think about it one day.
And we know they won't.
You got to think about it like this: one day that shit's just gonna be gone, and there are gonna be millions and millions of games that are just like they never existed.
We have people in charge of these companies that don't give a shit.
I know,
And that's the thing. Yeah. And that's what's unfortunate. It's like
I know. Hell yeah, I know shit firsthand. But yeah, it's the game. It's corporate America. It's no different in the gaming industry. It's no different in Google. It's no different in any corporation. It's just how it is, you know.
it just sucks because they infiltrated our shit.
Yes,
Because it wasn't always like
that's the problem. And I think that's why gamers are so rebellious, and the real gamers who have been around. Because one, the thing about gaming and comic books, and I think people don't understand is that these are nerd genres, and nerds are very sensitive about their genres because they weren't cool. And now that they are cool and the cool kids are playing in it, corporate America comes in, right? Because they see dollar signs, right? For the casuals, right? Which usually are the cool kids because they don't really do the shit that people we've been doing for years. Right now, it's like, oh, Call of Duty's fun. It's like, yeah, we've been playing these kind of games forever, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, wake up. Like, we've been playing these games forever. So what happens is Corp comes in and then Corp ruins it because Corp comes in with corporate ideas. They don't come in with gamer ideas because they don't even game. You could talk. I could tell you if how many people I work with that don't game, and you don't have to. I know you don't. There's these people everywhere, but what I'm saying is some of these people are high. They don't game. They don't understand the culture of playing a game. It doesn't do anything for them. It would be like people that like care about wine and like they let like someone that don't give two fucks about wine run the vineyard and make all the
no,
fucking
it's like a
decisions.
motherfucker trying to perform heart surgery and don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
bro, you're
not even that not that you don't know what you're doing. You run the hospital of heart surgeons, and you like, but I'm not. I've never been a heart surgeon. I'm a doctor, but I worked in another industry. I worked at this other company, but they said come in here and just run it because I can clean this thing up. So yeah, you guys, you know what we should do? We should probably do. what do you guys do again? Heart surgery? We should probably do it remotely or something. I don't know. Shit, save us some bread. You know what I'm saying? Like just make up shit because that's what it is. It's like you're not thinking about the gamer, right? You're thinking about the profit, and that's what happened to gaming because like our little passion, our little nerdy thing turned into corp. You know what I'm saying? Like it turned corporate. You know what I mean? Shit, it's on t-shirts now. We're both wearing t-shirts. It's now cool to be a gamer, right? You see it. And I like it. I love it. I love that the younger audience is growing up into gaming. There's more people, more boys and girls gaming now than ever. It's not, you don't get ridiculed for it as much. But corporate America sees that and they wash it out. And that's what's happening to gaming right now. And we're just old enough to see it being kind of like corporatized, right? Like a young gamer's not going to understand what's happening because it's new to them, right? We didn't understand about the crash of '84 because we just was like, I'm 3, so I didn't care. 2, so
I'm new here.
Exactly, but we've been around so long, we've seen it in its purest form, right? We've seen it be laughed at and ridiculed, like persecuted, even, right? And now it's the big dog, right? It's making more money than your favorite movies. Movies want to be
industry.
Music and movies want to be video games now. When they used to laugh at it, now they're trying to figure out how to be a part of it, right? You know what I'm saying? So the Fortnite, all them songs in Fortnite, they want to be in because there's so much money to be made, and that's the problem. There's so much money to be made, and now people are seeing it. So like, to find the cool games, dog, it's not gonna be from your big dogs no more. It's gonna be from the indies. Because that's like, when you think about it, like that's what gaming
or even your smaller studios.
But that's what gaming used to be. It was like, we didn't know what big studios were. We created the big studios because we liked their games. No one knew Midway or Acclaim when Acclaim, you know what I'm saying? We just like, they keep making good games. They got to be good, and they made them big. But what happens now is these studios have names, and we go, because this made this, it has to be this. And these are the only people that make these kind of games. Like, bro, we got to get back to playing games. If the corporate gamers, if the Warner Brothers and the Sonys and the Microsofts keep making these bullshit games, then we need to go play with the games that people fuck with, like the smaller guys that really care about gaming like we do. So that's it. Like, we can't keep waiting for fucking Far Cry to make a good game. We can't keep waiting for these games to get good, because they're not. They're not.
No, I'll play anything that's good. I don't care whose name is on it, as long as it's a good game.
I wish there was another sports title. I wish someone had the money to make a basketball game and had people that were really passionate about the sport and could like put in. And it obviously started off, it probably won't be the visual fidelity of 2K because they have a shitload of money right now. Unlimited. Right? Yeah, they got unlimited resources, right? They're crazy right now, but. Yeah. Somebody just put in, even if it's arcadey at first or cartoony, but like real physics, like really like we play hoop. This is what we want it to be. New engine, new physics. We're trying something new, or even football, because football would probably be a little easier than basketball. I've always thought that, just because it's more like up, down, or so. You know what I'm saying? It's more like, ooh, it's not as many moving parts. It's not as many cutting emotions. It's kind of like a play is set, and there's causality in the play, and then it ends, right? And then it start over. It's like basketball is like dooch. So it's a lot of up and down. So yeah, even if somebody made a football game that wasn't licensed but fun, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It just sucks right now. It's games in a weird space, and it's sad we talking about the PS2 like this glorious time in gaming, and then we're looking at the landscape of gaming. It's like, there's good games out there. Not, I'm hearing really good things about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I want to play Mud Runners, Expeditions. So there's games coming and there's games out. It's just like, the big titles aren't what they used to be. You know what I'm saying?
Rebirth is a what?
Huh?
Rebirth is a what?
Rebirth is a reimagining.
This shit is stupid.
It's a reimagining. It's technically a remaster, but because no. I'm gonna be. It's technically a remaster of the game, but because it's in a new engine. But it is a reimagining of the story of Final Fantasy VII. So while it is the same game, it has different beats. It's telling a different story. So I don't even know how it's going to end, because the last game had an ending. And I was like, what? This has nothing to do with what I know. So I'm curious to see how off the trail they go. And I think they're doing some multiversal shit, but it's like, it sounds like it's doing really good. So yeah, it's a remaster because it's in a whole new engine. First of all, This is no question. Just type in Final Fantasy VII and compare the two from PS1 to PS5, and you tell me what this is. There's no question. There's never been another version of the game. You muted yourself.
Definitely just did right before I started talking. I thought they came out with multiple different variations of 7.
No, I mean there's been like, PC ports and shit, but there's no other. People have been wanting this since they showed it off at that PS3 or PS2 conference, whenever they showed that off. And
and it's just not coming out?
Because there was never
I remember.
Well, there was never an intent to make it. It was just showing off the power of the console. It was just a tech demo. But what happened is,
stupid bitch, don't ever tease me.
What happened is people were like, wait a minute, you can make that look like that, and then that's what happened. It kind of fueled that whole thing of years of people begging for them, and they finally did it in their newest engine, and it looks great. And it's fun. It's different. It's not turn based. It's like
Final Fantasy. That's Square Enix, right?
Yeah, Square Enix. Yeah. Well, back then it was Square.
Huh.
No Enix. Just Square.
Yeah.
I don't know. Super Nintendo got Secret of Mana. Super Nintendo got Game. I just thought about Super Nintendo got Heat. Super Mario RPG. Did that come out?
When did Streets of Rage come out?
That's Sega Genesis.
That's Sega. Genesis. Yeah. They had Turtles in Time.
That's arcade and Super Nintendo. Yeah. Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
Mortal Kombat changed gaming. Period. Mortal Kombat changed gaming. No game of that generation changed gaming like Mortal Kombat did, and that's Sega Genesis Super Nintendo game. And obviously, if you were a smarter person, you would have bought it on the Genesis because it had blood, not sweat, like Super Nintendo did. But yeah, Mortal Kombat. I mean, we wouldn't have the ESRB. We have the ESRB. We have ratings boards because of Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat created the ratings boards, just like NWA and Uncle Luke created the parental advisory. Mortal Kombat is the same for video games. Mortal Kombat is the Uncle Luke and NWA of video games, for sure. Yeah. It is. It created a whole parental thing that now is across the globe and other regions have it. Because before that, no one had it. Video games was just the Wild West. They could do what they want. They had no rating. Now they have ratings, and you have to have parents buy games for you because of Mortal fucking Kombat.
First off,
it wasn't even that bad.
Nobody pays attention to them damn ratings.
They used to. Back in the day. They used to be strict on this shit.
When?
Shit, they used to be strict. Like, where's your parent? Like, fuck, what the hell? I done came all the way from Hayward to buy this goddamn game. I gotta get my mom out. She ain't coming out here. Vividly remember that. Had to ride my bike all the way back to Oakland, back from Toys R Us, down Hagenberger, all the way back down Bancroft. Mom, you busy today? Take me to Toys R Us. They wouldn't let me buy it. They said I'm too young. I'm 12. Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying, then your mom took you.
Yeah, eventually. It wasn't the same day.
But that's what I'm saying though. It's like them ESRBs.
But back then,
pay their shit's no attention.
Yeah, but it's more legal shit. It's more like
I don't know any parents that is like.
It's more legal.
I mean,
it's more legal. It's more for like legal shit. Like like you can't advertise that your game doesn't have weed in it, but it does, or you can't have smoking in certain regions because certain regions like Australia is really strict on everything, right? So like
they are. Because
Germany is too. Germany is too. Australia, Germany, a few of them that are really, really strict on what you can and can't do in your games. I mean, Australia will make you change game. People, they like cut scenes out of games, or certain games just can't be played in Australia. Like, I don't know, Grand Theft Auto can go to Australia. I think people have to import that. You can't buy it there, I don't think.
That's so stupid.
But every country got different moral compass. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe that's why they don't have mass shootings like America. Maybe they're on to something.
Maybe they also don't have hella guns like that either. Because maybe your first option isn't just going and shoot some shit up when you got hella guns and you got guns. But that's a topic for another show, day, time. Shit, I got guns. Shit, but I don't, that shit crazy though. Might do some checks on some motherfuckers getting these guns. But whatever. I shoot video game guns.
You ain't gonna go retaliate on nobody.
Yeah, dude. Go, you kill me, I'm trying to find your ass on the map. And wet your ass up, polka dot style, boy, Mr. Polka Dot. Pakow, pakow, pakow. You know what I'm saying? Leave that head red. Sniper. Pow. It's the only killing I would have do, dog. That shit crazy.
Hey, last week, people liked your shark story.
Unintentionally told a story that I just found out like 2 weeks prior or a week prior. But I'm glad they enjoyed it. Shit, it was a real story.
It was. Yeah, you got any more Get Out stories for it?
I don't got a teacup. I don't got maybe I'll do the one. I don't got it no more. Damn, I used to be. Maybe I need some water. Maybe I need something in there.
Yeah, I remember that back in the day. All them little science, little shit.
I remember we was doing that when I was playing Morocco. I'm like, oh, that's clean. I'm about to learn how to do that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was this week's podcast.
We did it.
We appreciate you guys
didn't die on camera.
for tuning in. I didn't, but I know y'all can see the energy. I've been sitting back like
you
this.
hearing wheezing in that mic. That's why he's using that mic. My lungs on fire.
Because that is annoying to hear.
Yeah, for sure.
People breathing in the mic.
It is what it is.
But we appreciate you guys, man. We thank you guys for tuning into the show. Again, wherever you guys are getting the podcast from, please subscribe to it, rate it, review it, whatever. Follow us on social media.
Yes.
And if you guys got any critiques, anything you guys want to hear, see, anything you want us to talk about, talk to us. We talk back.
We're a work in progress.
So
we're trying to figure it all out.
Always.
Yeah, this is the beginning, not the end. So
yeah, so but I definitely am happy. I appreciate the people that are reaching out, though. I agree. It really does mean a lot.
And I want to say thanks to everybody that reached out to me. I really appreciate it. It was quite a few people. It's been a little overwhelming how many people have reached out to me on all the social platforms. So like text messages and shit. So if I haven't gotten back to you, I apologize. It's just been a lot. So I really do appreciate everybody getting, condolences. I don't know, I ain't died, but but you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I do appreciate it. Like, it's a tough time, and a lot of my friends are hurting right now because they're going through it. We all going through it, but yeah, I do really appreciate the fans and people reaching out that didn't know that happened to me or finding out via the story. So yeah, thank you.
Do you know what you want to do next? You got a roadmap at all?
Hell no. Nah. Somebody else asked me. I'm like, man, no. I got laid off. No, I'm on vacation. This is the point. I'm figuring it out. I got to take some time to figure it out because I don't want to I got to make the next move the best move. So it gives me time to focus on this and other endeavors like streaming more and, apply for a job here. I'm applying for stuff, but I think I'm going to take a couple weeks to myself and just like get it together, man. Like, I don't want to, and you shouldn't take any old energy into a new situation, right? Like every situation is different. So you can't take what was to the next place, right? So I can't take how I felt about that place or the management or whatever. I can't take that into my new job or to present myself for a new job, right? Because I'm coming out with the bad energy. So I got to let that shit go, which I have a lot of it, but yeah, I'm cooling, bro. I'm chilling. I'm about to get my mind right and just relax. Get to play some games and cool out, dog. That shit was stressing me out. Work was crazy.
As you should, man. Ain't no reason to rush.
No, I mean, there's a reason to rush. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely taking some of that time to myself to breathe, right? Because, like you said, like people say, I worked there a long time and I put a lot of time in doing what I did and didn't really get any like reward for it. So I'm definitely taking some fucking time to myself.
You got a baller over there that can hold you
You
down.
tripping. Ain't nobody balling over here. That's one thing. Ain't nobody balling over here. Nobody. So let me shut that down. No misconceptions.
There's somebody balling over there.
No, let's shut it down. Because that's how bullshit starts. Because your little cronies believe you.
Until next week's podcast, people, we appreciate you.
You don't want to talk.
We out. How you stop this shit?